When I was around an 8 UTR, I remember feeling completely stuck. In this video, I'm breaking down the 5 habits that completely changed my game and helped me go from an 8 UTR to a 12. Habit number 1, training with intent. When I was around an 8 UTR, most of my practices looked the same. I'd warm up, hit cross courts, maybe rally a bit, and leave thinking I'd had a good session, but nothing really changed. I was practicing, but I wasn't training with intent. At some point, I realized I was just hitting balls to feel productive. There was no specific goal, no accountability, no measurable improvement. So I changed my approach. Before every session, I started asking myself one question. What's the one thing I want to walk away better at today? Maybe it was taking the ball earlier on my forehand, or holding my balance after my backhand, or improving my recovery footwork after hitting wide. It didn't matter what it was. What mattered was having a clear focus. When you train with intent, every rep has meaning. You start noticing small improvements faster because you're paying attention. And that builds momentum, not just skill, but confidence. You don't need to train 6 hours a day. You need to train with purpose. Habit number 2, owning my fitness and recovery. Early on, I didn't take recovery seriously. I thought fitness was just about running a few miles or lifting weights once in a while. But when I started competing against higher level players, I realized that fitness wasn't just about being strong, it was about being durable. These players could go deep into third sets and still move explosively. Meanwhile, I'd start cramping, my legs would feel heavy, and my shot quality would drop. So, I made a decision. If I wanted to play at a 12 UTR level, I had to start treating my body like one. I started doing dynamic warm-ups before hitting. I incorporated mobility work and stretching after sessions. I built strength training into my weekly routine, not to bulk up, but to improve balance, explosiveness, and injury prevention. And honestly, that one change had a domino effect. Once my legs got stronger, my serve gained more power, my recovery between shots improved, even my confidence went up because I knew I could outlast my opponents. It's not the flashiest part of tennis, but if you take care of your body, your level automatically rises. Habit number 3, studying my game. This was probably one of the biggest turning points for me. At 8 UTR, I'd finish matches and tell myself things like, I just missed too much, or I need to play more aggressive next time. But those aren't insights, they're excuses. I didn't actually know what I was doing wrong because I wasn't tracking it. So I started filming my matches, not to post, not for highlights, purely for learning. And man, it was humbling. I realized that the things I thought I was doing right, I wasn't at all. My footwork was lazy when I got tired, my contact point was inconsistent, and I'd fall into the same bad habits under pressure. Once I saw those patterns, I could fix them. I'd make specific notes after each match. Where was I losing most of my points? Was I attacking the right balls? What shots kept breaking down? It turned improvement into something tangible. And the more I studied myself, the faster I improved because I was fixing actual problems, not imagined ones. If you want to grow faster, don't just hit, analyze. That's what separates players who stay the same from players who evolve. Habit number 4, competing often. I used to wait until I felt ready to play tournaments. I tell myself, once I fix my serve or once I get more consistent, then I'll start competing again. But that mindset held me back for years because the truth is, you'll never feel completely ready. You only get better at competing by competing. When I finally started playing more matches, I began to understand the mental side of tennis, how to handle pressure, momentum swings, and nerves. I learned how to adapt mid-match instead of panicking. Some of my biggest growth came from matches I lost. I'd walk off court frustrated, but take notes immediately. What I did well, what broke down, what I do differently next time. Every tournament became feedback. And once I stopped treating losses like failures and started treating them like lessons, everything changed. If you want to level up your UTR, stop hiding behind practice. Get out there, compete, lose, learn, repeat. That's how you grow. Habit number 5, thinking long term. This one ties everything together, guys. When I was an 8, I was obsessed with results, as everybody is. Every bad day would mess with my confidence. If I lost a match or had a bad hitting session, I'd spiral, questioning whether I was even improving. But as I matured, I realized that the best players aren't focused on tomorrow. They're focused on the trajectory. It's not about being perfect this week. It's about stacking consistent effort over months and years. Once I started thinking long term, everything got easier. I stopped overreacting to small setbacks and started to focus on the process, eating right, sleeping enough, staying disciplined, and training with consistency. When you take that long view, improvement becomes inevitable. I started trusting that every session, even the rough ones, was moving me closer to where I wanted to be. And that's the difference between staying stuck at an 8 and climbing to a 12. You stop chasing quick wins and you start building something real. So those are the 5 habits that changed everything for me. Training with intent, owning my fitness and recovery, studying my game, competing often, and thinking long term. None of them are flashy, guys, but I promise you they're going to help you guys go from that 8 to a 12 UTR. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below for other tips you'd like to see. As always, have a great day, guys, and God bless.